All right, so first thing we're gonna do, here's our little book that we're gonna make. Yay, he's so cute. It's all made, I'll show you guys in just a second. It's all made from one piece of paper, okay? But we're gonna build our book first. So I'm gonna show you how to do that with this piece of paper, and then we'll go step by step and we'll illustrate each page as we go, okay? So the first thing we wanna do is we're going to fold our paper in half lengthwise like this. Fold it right in half. Once it's all folded like that, we're gonna fold it one more time, that same direction. So fold this in on itself all the way to the edge like so. And then once you have it folded like that, we're gonna fold it this way. A little rectangle. We're gonna press all the edges real tight. When you have it all folded, you wanna make sure that all the sides are lined up. You don't want it to be like crooked like that, okay? You wanna make sure that it's all lined up super straight. That'll make your book good. Okay, so now we're gonna unfold it just to this point right here, that first fold, so that we have it it's just folded in half. And find where the opening is, like that. And you're gonna be cutting this line right here. Okay, it's on the crease. It's the one, this is the side that opens. You're cutting the one that's on in the inside crease. So I'm just gonna take my scissors, my folding, and I'm gonna cut only to that X mark. And then I'm gonna stop, okay? All right, so at this point, you should be able to open your paper all the way up, and it will have a cut right in the middle. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna fold it away from the, so see how these wanna open up? You wanna fold it so that they open up like that, so that you got like this diamond shape happening. And I'm gonna push the diamond shape together. Okay, so see how it's open like this? And then I go push, and you're just gonna take it and you're gonna fold like that. And that becomes your book. So now I have a book that has pages. I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna start moving forward. We're gonna think about that front page of our book. Make sure that when you open it, that it opens the right way for a book. And we're gonna start drawing that first drawing of the ball of yarn with the cat looking at it. And I'm gonna get a marker. Okay. And I'll even use a little bit bigger marker so that it's a little clearer, okay guys? So we're gonna start with just making the ball of yarn, and he sits at kind of near the bottom of the page. And you can just make him kind of, make a couple of circles like that. And then to make him sleeping, you just put little U's for his sleepy eyes. And then I like to make a little smile, a tiny little smile. It's another U right below that. And then since he is a ball of yarn, we're gonna have a piece of yarn kind of coming off of him, and we can color the whole thing a different color, like add red later. But right now I'm just gonna work in black. So I'm gonna do a little tail of yarn coming off of him, just kind of like a little squiggly line. Okay, now behind him is our horizon line, or our wall. Like if he's inside, there's the ground where it meets the wall. And I'm just gonna put that right there. It goes behind him, and there he is sitting on the ground. Now we want the cat to be looking, cat's kind of wondering what's going on with the ball of yarn. So we're gonna start kind of at the tip of where his nose is, and there's just a kind of a curved line that comes down and almost touches the ground. That's the cat's chin. And then we're gonna go up, and it's like almost like a straight line with a curve at the top. We'll do his ear that's closest to us. It's just a little point that comes off the side of the page right there. And then his other ear is gonna poke out behind, like that. And then let's give him an eyeball. I like to make big round eyes because he's like, whoa, what's going on? Right? And then you give him his eyes looking straight at the ball of yarn, like, I want to play with that. And you can give him a little nose. Now, if you want to add, like I have little motion lines, like it makes you know that he's sniffing, or little Z's for the sleeping yarn, you can add those. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This is your book, okay? The next page we have, this is called a spread. When it's two pages that go together, it's called a spread. We're gonna put our yarn on this page. So this page is kind of like the opening blank page, and then we're having our yarn sitting on this page. So we're gonna do that same circle. But he's going to soon be disturbed by the cat, and the cat's paw is just about to grab him. So we're gonna put the cat's paw above. So it's gonna start up here above the ball of yarn, and it's like a little curve, right? And then we're gonna give him a couple of bumps for his paw, like the tip of his paw, right? And then we're gonna come down and we're gonna follow that curve so that this is his arm. There's his paw. Okay, and if you want, you can give him the little pads on the bottom of his paw. I like to think of it like you got a bean shape. It's like a squished, it's like an oval that got poked right here. And then little ovals for the pads of his toes, right? And he's getting ready to whack the poor ball of yarn. And like I said, if you want to add the little Z's for his sleeping, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. And we're going to turn the page to the next spread. And we have the poor ball of yarn being whacked by the cat. So let's start with the ball of yarn. And he's way over here on this page. So we're going to put him kind of close to this far edge. And he's up in the air. We'll do a couple of circles. And he's kind of flying sideways. So we're going to put his eyeballs, and he's awake now. And he's very surprised. And you make a surprise face by putting the dots in the middle of his eyes. And you can give him like a mouth that says, "Oh no!" You can give him eyebrows if you want. And then we're just gonna make a really squiggly line that comes off of him like a ball of yarn. So I like to kind of do like S curves. And so we're gonna go S curves off of him like this, and maybe a loop-de-loop, maybe some more squiggles here, and it's gonna end where he started, okay? And you can give him motion lines too, like this, like wah, wah. All right? And now we need to get that cat's paw arm in here. So we're just gonna make from over on this page where we already had the arm coming out before. We have the curve of the paw, the top of his paw, and then those three little bumps, and then another curve for the bottom of his arm. And if you want to add those paws, the kidney bean shape and the little ovals for his toes, you can do that. One of the final things is you want to add in that horizon line. So we're going to just make sure that it's below our little guy, so he is floating in the air, and then just wherever it ends up where the cat's paw is, like that. Like this one, it went behind. This one, I didn't end up going behind, but that's fine. And just to show that my cat's paw is moving, that it's swiping like this, I'm going to do there's three motion lines like this that says this is where the paw used to be, and it went this direction. Okay, so this is where it used to be. Those three lines show where this line used to be, and then there's a line that shows the direction of the. All right. So that's the drawing for that page. Let's turn the page to the next spread. All right. This is where we see that happy cat playing with his ball of yarn. We'll start with drawing the cat, and then we'll add the yarn afterwards, okay? So first of all, we're gonna look at this cat's face. His face is really angled because he's moving, he's running this direction. So we're not gonna do it straight up and down, we're gonna do it kind of sideways. So we're gonna make a big letter C right over here on this page. And then from that C, we're gonna turn it into the cat's head by doing a line down here, and a line down there, and then like that. You can include a line for his back that comes straight off of his head and goes off the page. That's the top of his back. His paw, his arm, is gonna follow that kind of line, and we're gonna go over here onto the next page. So that's the top of his arm right here. Okay, and then I'm just going to give him some his paws. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to come back down towards his body. And I'm not going to connect to his face just yet. I want to have his other arm right in front of him. So I'm going to come down like that. There's his first paw. And then his other arm is going to come out this way. And we're going to give another 3 paws. 1, 2, 3. Or 3 toes, I guess. Yeah, toes, not paws. These are paws. He has toes on the paws. Yeah. And from there, we're going to go swoop back, kind of curving along. And it kind of does this wavy line. Then you make the bottom of his tummy over here. Okay? So let's give this cat a face. This cat is really excited. He's going to have some really big eyeballs because I think that's hilarious. 2 really big eyeballs, and he's going to be looking the direction of where you're going to put your ball of yarn. So he's super excited. He's looking this direction, right? And we're going to give him a little triangle nose right between his eyes. And then we're going to keep his mouth open. So we're going to go like a little swoop here and a little swoop here, and then a big open mouth because he's super excited. And you can give him teeth inside like this. And maybe we'll do the kidney bean on this paw. The little pads of the feet. And you can give him claws if you want, which are just little pointy ends to the feet, toes. All right, so there he is floating through the air. Oh, whiskers, don't forget whiskers. And I like to make him so that it looks like he's really going fast, so I curve them back from where he's coming, like, wah! There we go, hooray! All right, so now let's do that ball of yarn. Now the ball of yarn is coming off of the page, so we're only gonna have half of a circle over here. You can draw it a couple times because he's a ball of yarn. And he's got a really upset mouth, which the upset mouth, you'll notice, is that same kidney bean shape that we did for the paws. So we're just gonna do that upset mouth, and it's like this. It's like, wow. There we go. And if you want, you can kind of give him a tongue inside of it. Help! And we'll color that in later, it'll make more sense. And now the last thing, or 2 things for this page, is we need to do the squiggle of yarn that wraps around the cat's arm, and then we need to do the horizon line below everything. Let's do the squiggle of yarn. So we'll do those S curves, and when we do it, we're gonna make sure, so it's gonna go down here, and it's gonna wrap around the cat, and when it's gonna go behind his paw, we stop, and we imagine it going behind his paw, and then coming around, and then it's going to imagine it going behind his paw again. And now maybe we can go swiggly, swiggly, and I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna imagine it going behind his paw, and it's gonna come out over here. And now I can make a big mess like that. And then I'm just gonna add a horizon line. Everything's up in the air. There we go, like that. Next page is the last page. You should be on your very last page. Just like that, it's the back of the book. And this is probably going to be the most complicated part of the drawing, but we'll do it slow and we'll do it together, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw this tail curl that's going to happen right here in the middle of the page. We're going to go a little curly Q like this, and then up and over. And then we're going to make the back end of this tail, and it's just going to go like a U. Now behind that tail is where the ball of yarn has been tucked. He's not sure he likes that spot, but we're going to put him there anyway. There he is. And then the cat's face is going to be behind the ball of yarn. He's snuggling with the ball of yarn. So we're going to imagine that shape going behind like that. And then you can make the ears. Okay. And then once you have that, maybe you can give it some paws. These little paws are coming around saying, oh, I love you so much, to the And for sleeping eyes, we just do those U shapes on the cat. She's happy. And a little triangle behind, between, like that blue nose. And a happy smile on the cat because he's sleeping. He's sleeping. Now for the poor ball of yarn, I do circles for the eyes. This one you only see half a circle, like that. And you can do kind of whatever expression you like. I like to kind of give him kind of a like a worried look, which you do little eyelids on the bottom that kind of scrunch up his eyes like that. A little line through the middle of the eye almost, and then he's going to be looking up at the cat like, I don't know about you. And then you can add eyebrows that kind of are like worried eyebrows like that. And then this is the fun part. Once you get that done, you have all the parts of the drawing. Now you can make the squiggly line of the yarn. Now the yarn has been harassed and chased all around the house, and so we can go a little bit crazy with this one. So maybe coming out from behind the cat's paw, going over, and then we can go behind. Remember, we go behind the tail and go around again, behind the tail, around, maybe it swirls around and kind of goes behind the cat altogether. It's just a big fat mess. So one of the things you want to consider as you're coloring your book is we want to have the colors consistent. You can't have the yarn be blue on one page and orange on the next. So you want to make sure that he's the same color all the way through your book. And the same with the cat. If you start coloring orange with stripes, you want to have orange stripes all the way through the book. Okay, so think about that ahead of time. Think about what color you want your cat and what color you want your yarn. And then just have fun with it.